afternoon. I just came in literally straight from Sydney Airport, so I don't even know which state I'm in at the moment. I was raped in the sluttiest way possible at a ladies' night by a woman at a swingers club. And yes, this is what I was wearing. When I reported it to the club organizer the next day, she said, well, you look like you were having fun. I wouldn't be surprised if my rapist was here and doesn't even know I'm talking about her. It took me a little while to get help. Part of me went on autopilot and started calling all the rape assault numbers or look up all the information, you know, the things you get trained to do when you do a lot of feminist work. And for the most part, they were helpful. But they all seemed to conceive of rape and assault as something that happens to an innocent girl by a guy in the bushes. There was nothing about a woman being raped by a woman. Nothing about being raped in a sexually charged situation. Even when I tried to talk to my family about it, even in the most well-meaning way, they asked, why didn't your boyfriend stop this? Stop you from going? Because he owes me, apparently. I don't know. That's news to him when I told him. Don't you know that's the sort of risk you put yourself into? At least you know not to do that next time. So much for getting support. And it took me so long to actually come out and say, hey, I really need help, this is messing me up. Because some part of me thought that even though I knew intellectually I never asked to be raped, I never went there saying, hey, I'm going to get raped tonight, woo! I still thought, what, did I do anything to bring this onto myself? Is there some part of me that was still responsible? Am I not innocent enough for this? And I want to thank the people who heard my story when I first broke with it in like early 2010 and shared with me the most amazing support. You have no idea how much your messages, your zines, your emails, private or public, whatever, that support really meant so much to me, because it was so hard finding it from even the most modern feminist areas, because there's not much written about it, even from, say, the sex workers associations or the kink associations, because they said, yeah, there's not much out there. And they're fighting so hard to find legitimacy for themselves that when something does go wrong, hardly anyone wants to approach it. And that is why I'm here for Slutwalk. And a lot of people have said, oh, it's a white woman's problem. It's a white country's problem. And yes, in one way, the issues of sexuality around minorities like myself become a lot more complicated. Because people put assumptions on you. Like, oh, if you wear a burqa, you can't possibly have sexual agency. Or, oh, you are a black woman, therefore you must be sexual all the freaking time. We are all people. First and foremost, you could be a slut and be the dowdiest prude ever and still be a slut because someone does not care for you. You could be, well, you know, I'm kind of the most hopeless slut ever. I have trouble picking up people. It is kind of ironic. Still, and you know, even though people haven't said you're a slut, they say, oh, but what about your honor? What about your dignity? Wouldn't people look down on you because you do burlesque and take nudie photos and talk about sex openly? And stuff like this that makes it really difficult for any of us to know what is appropriate sex, what is good sexual behavior, what is consent, what are boundaries, how do we treat each other right? Because there's just no space to talk about innocent person, guy from the bushes, and we end up hurting each other. I've been to feminist groups where they say, oh, I don't believe in this whole pro-porn thing. I don't believe in this postmodern crap. On the Facebook pages, well, wouldn't you lose respect if you dress up in slutty clothing? I used to be a slut shamer. I used to think porn stars and sex workers and models were all brainless and nothing to say. And if we don't move away from one model of appropriate and start talking about all the different issues and all the different ways people explore sexuality or don't explore sexuality, slut shaming and rape culture is not going to go away. So the next time someone says, hey, you know that friend we have? I think they said something really inappropriate to me, but I'm not entirely sure. Or someone went to you and said, you know, I'm kind of curious about going to this kink club, but I'm kind of shy. Or someone says, hey honey, how about we look at an open relationship? Don't make your first response be, what the hell are you thinking, you slut? And I don't care if you are the bastard love child of Paris Hilton and Voldemort, and your full-time job is as a stripper in the most run-down area of the Outback, and you are the only girl there for miles, you still do not deserve to be assaulted or raped. I'm going to read out from some of the sides because I have a very good view of the sides and they're all mostly there for some reason. Not fair game if dropped, not fair game ever, deal with it. Yes means yes, no means no, however we dress, wherever we go. We're not asking for it, our clothes are not our concepts. Only rapists can stop rape. We all have a responsibility to each other. Don't make this be the end. Make this be the start. Thank you.